What's up, everybody? So today I am driving in a 2013 Nissan 370Z NISMO. Now that might sound pretty cool alone, but what is very cool about this car, it is twin turbocharged. This thing has two turbos underneath the hood, pumping out more than 650 at the wheels. The guys at Champion Car Company gave me a call when this thing came in, so I had to go take a look at it. They just got this in, insanely powerful, pretty much a brand new car in my opinion. So let's check it out. So first off, huge thank you to the guys at Champion for letting me take a look at this car. It's not too often you get to drive around in a 650 horse 370Z. So I'll have the link to their website, and if this car even makes it to their website, I'll put the link to this car as well in the description below. So starting with the normal 370, you get a 3.7 liter 6-cylinder engine, and for the NISMO it's tuned up a little bit, cranking out like 350 horsepower and like 270 foot-pounds of torque. This is the NISMO with the Brembo brakes. You get 14-inch discs up front with 13.8-inch discs in the rear, 4 piston brake calipers up front, and 2 pistons in the rear. And with the Z's, with all the manuals, you get sport mode. You can turn it on and off, and with it on, you get really awesome rev matching downshifts. This car just takes off like a rocket. I'd say above 3,000 RPM, it just launches you to redline. It already handles good. This does not have the stock suspension. The stock NISMO suspension is about 10 to 15% stiffer than your stock one in the standard Z. This does actually have a set of lowering springs. The ride is really nice. I couldn't tell they're lowering springs. I can feel some of the big bumps, but it's still comfortable, and the handling, this thing is so tight. The steering wheel, there's no play in it. Just giving it a little bit, the car turns, and taking that turn earlier, it just really planted. But of course, with this car and this kind of power, the turbo power is what you want to talk about. So with the turbo kits for the 370s, there's not that much space underneath the hood. So with this kind of kit, the turbos are mounted more on the underside of the engine, underneath the turbo manifolds or the exhaust headers, similar to how the GTR is located. And when you're looking at the engine bay, it actually looks like it just has a cold air intake. And then when you look a little closer, you'll notice air filters underneath what you think is the air intakes. So then you kind of realize it might be twin turboed. And then of course, when you look at the front of the car, in the middle of the grille, you get that huge looking intercooler core. And that's kind of the only thing about this car that makes it look like it's turbocharged. So for the 370Z NISMO, this is a little different than the standard 370Z. You get the full NISMO body kit all around, huge looking front bumper. It gives this car so much aggression. I absolutely love the look of it. On pictures, I really don't think it looked that good, but seeing it in person, it is really growing on me, and I am starting to fall in love with the 370s. The side profile, I would have to say, is one of the best looking profiles. It's just such a coupe. It looks so good. You got the ginormous wing on the rear end, being the NISMO. And then for the wheels, you get a set of 19-inch raised forged aluminum wheels. They're staggered setup, a little bit wider in the rear. And being a black car, the red calipers definitely look good as well. For the rear end, this actually has a full custom exhaust system, and it does have catalytic converters, which is kind of interesting to know. This car has been completely done the exact way you would ever want it for a road legal car. It passes inspection fine having cats. They're of course high flow. All the sensors are hooked up like you would expect, but it is a full dual exhaust system coming from the turbos, and then you got the really large exhaust tips coming out the rear end. And finishing up with the bumper, the rear bumper's got a nice looking diffuser on it, some kind of like air vents on the side of it, and overall I think the NISMO Z is just crazy looking. I'm a little torn if I like this better than the 2016 model year, which gives it that different front end and a little bit different characteristics overall. But the exterior interior of this, I would say, is one of the best looking cars for like the mid $30,000 range. So as for acceleration, yeah, this car moves like a rocket ship. The turbos, they kick in so quickly, and this car just, oh my goodness. This car is insane. The 370Z already is one of my favorite cars. The guys at Champion had an automatic 370 a while ago that I did a full review on. I really fell in love with that. But now getting to drive one with a manual transmission and twin turbos, oh my goodness, this car is incredible. As far as the interior goes for this NISMO, it's pretty basic for your normal NISMO. You have cloth seating, black cloth on the side with somewhat of a red color in the center. You also get the NISMO embroidered up top, black leather steering wheel with red stitching on the inside. And this one also has the NISMO shift knob, and I believe it also has a short throw shifter. Very easy to go through all the gears. And with that sport mode button located right above the shifter, holding it down will turn it off, and then just pressing it once will turn it back on again. And with it off, your downshifts are like your normal car. You might have to do your own rev match. But when it's on, that I think is my favorite part about it. The downshifts sound insane. So much drama with the car. I mean, even in its stock form, that's just a stock feature with the rev matching. But there is so much character and so much drama to it. For the dashboard of the car, without navigation, you're going to have a little door in the center that opens up, basically an extra glove box. This one, being turbocharged, has some gauges. You get an AAM boost gauge on the right side, and then the air-fuel ratio gauge on the left side. So that's definitely an essential thing you're going to want, especially in a high-boosted car like this. So it looks like it hits about 7.6 PSI. Definitely a good number for these engines, and from what I'm hearing, these engines can handle that. They're really strong. It looks a lot like the GTR's engine, but they seem to be really tough transmissions and can handle being twin turboed. It's got one of the best turbo kits on it. The turbo itself is about a $10,000 kit, and then it was tuned by one of the best Nissan tuners. And this car, one thing I'm actually really shocked about is how it delivers the power to the ground. I actually have traction control off right now, but it doesn't lose grip at all. When you floor it, it takes it. There's no slip in the wheels at all, and this thing is insane. So talking about this car as a normal vehicle, it's really comfortable. Like we talked about with the suspension, it's not harsh at all, pretty comfortable. The view out the front I really like. You can see the arches in the hood, especially right in front of you, so it kind of gives you like a driving line ahead of you. The side windows do a pretty good job. The only drawback looking out the rear is pretty tight. You have a giant spoiler in the way, but being twin turboed, it's not like you're really caring about what's behind you. And then looking over your left and right shoulder, it's not the greatest visibility, just being a two-door car like this with no rear windows at all, but it seems to be plenty comfortable, and I could definitely enjoy having one of these as a daily. So as far as sound goes in this car, I am loving it. The exhaust sounds so meaty, and you can hear the blow-off valves. They're not obnoxious at all. They're that right note that just sounds like power. So I'll go ahead and mount the GoPro in some cool places on the outside so you guys can hear it for what this really sounds like. got to say, the guys at AAM Competition have built an insane turbo kit for these Nissan cars. It is incredible the power this car has. Combining that kind of power with such a good car already, I mean, the 370Z is one of the best affordable sports cars nowadays, and combining that with an incredibly built twin turbo with proper tuning and just proper installation like this one has, this is a heck of a car. So finishing up driving in the twin turbo 650 wheel horsepower NISMO 370Z, I absolutely love this thing. This thing is crazy. Everything about it just was built correctly. Just everything about this car is insane. The handling is what you'd expect with a 370Z. The looks, it kind of is a sleeper in some sense. I mean, the NISMO is a little flashy compared to the standard Z, but it is a sleeper for the fact that it does just look like a basic Z. Has an exhaust system from the looks, and when you get up close to the front end, of course, you can see the giant intercooler up there. And then underneath the hood, it doesn't look like it's twin turboed, but when you look at it a little more carefully, you realize that this is a twin turbo monster. This car is incredible. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed a test drive review video with the twin turbo Z. This thing is the coolest car I've ever driven, to be honest. I am in love with this car. 370 I'm already a fan of, but adding two turbos just makes it that much better. I cannot begin to thank the guys at Champion for calling me down to check out this car. One heck of a car, built properly, looks insane. Oh, this car is just crazy. So definitely check out their website, if this even makes it to their website, but definitely check them out. They have a sick selection of cars. Don't forget to give this video the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video half as much as I did filming it. This is an insane experience driving a 370 like this. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and then follow us on Instagram. I'll be posting tons of photos of this car. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all next video.